People mirror the way that you treat yourself, and your low self worth leads to people overlooking you in pretty much every area of your life. Now, I'm saying this with the authority that I lived this for many, many years. You know, from as early as elementary, I remember, we would throw parties at the end of the school term, and I had this one vivid memory of me bringing chips to the party. They were Ruffles, my favorite. And at that time, I was a very shy, very invisible kid. I just wanted to blend in. I just wanted to stay invisible. I didn't speak. I was very quiet. I didn't believe my self was worth expressing to the class, to the teacher. I feared raising my hand. I would never raise it, right? So already from that age, I had a very low self-concept. And I can remember how much this stung and how much this hurt me. I went home afterwards and I cried. And what happened? Everybody, everyone took out opened up the snacks and started eating them, all that. But then my snack, my chips, my bag of chips was just left there in the corner, unseen, unopened. And at the end of it, the teacher was like, "Who brought these chips?" And to me, that was such a painful sting of just being totally unseen. Because in my mind, she was going, "Who brought these chips? We don't want them. We don't need them." And it's so funny how reality always finds ways to mirror back to you what you believe about yourself. And in high school, from my experiences in elementary, this negative momentum compounded into a self identity that wasn't great. I was extremely socially awkward, extremely self conscious, insecure, low self worth. And that was reflected in the way I related to peers. Because I would present myself in a way that was so awkward, so just uncomfortable. People would feel uncomfortable around me. And then I would try to act in a way to seek validation, to try to fit in, to try to be cool. And that only attracted people who would take advantage of me, who would bully me, who would make me feel lesser than I already was. And I would start believing them. But why did I believe them? Because I already believed that that was who I am. And they just reconfirmed those beliefs about myself. So do you see how deep this thing runs? Somewhere along the way, I made this discovery about self-confidence. And it's this. It's that your confidence isn't built by external validation, but by you learning to remain self-assured in the lack of it. When I learned this really changed my life. In high school, I remember one of my biggest insecurities was not only my social awkwardness, but my lack of success with females. Because of how awkward I was, this was like one of the greatest pain points I had. I thought how unattractive I was, how I'll never attract someone. And as you know, reality mirrored that. But when my reality shifted is when I realized that I don't need to prove to other people in order to find my confidence, but that I could have it when I didn't give a shit. When I found my own self assurance in the lack of the world giving me the validation that for so long I had sought. When I no longer gave a shit about that, everything changed for me. I started following a vision that, not out of being a follower, not out of conforming to what society wanted from me, but for the first time in my life, I asked myself, what the hell do I want? No matter how I look, how funny I look to other people, how absurd my dreams might look, what do I want? And I started chasing that. And immediately, my reality shifted. Reality no longer mirrored me as this pathetic, loser, weird, self conscious, insecure boy. But now, I was becoming a man who was on his own mission, who had something to live for, who didn't want the validation of everyone because he had that within himself. So the moment you stop seeking approval and validation from the outer world and you start living with your own conviction, is the moment you stop being a follower of society, of your age group, of your peers. And that's the moment you become a leader of your own life. And that's when your reality shifts. And your reality will shift in ways that are completely unfathomable to you. I always knew I could be more, but I just didn't know how. Until I started acting out the ways that I thought were true to myself. And suddenly, this feeling in my heart started to sprout. And as it sprouted, I built more momentum. I thought I needed discipline. I needed to exert willpower to achieve my goals. But when you have a vision that's authentic, nothing can trump that. Discipline is a 100-meter sprint versus a 42-kilometer marathon. And when you're driven by the pull of your vision rather than the push of fear, suddenly you're playing an entirely different ballgame. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling with any particular area of life that feels really painful that you want to escape out of, I encourage you to step into that feeling, using that mirror of reality to your advantage. How are you sick and tired of seeing yourself? And what kind of shift would it take for your reality to mirror that inner feeling? But you first have to develop the courage to feel that inner feeling first. And I hope that my examples in this video could have inspired you to make that transformation. If you're struggling with porn addiction, I've created a free guide. It's called Quit Porn the Right Way. It'll be available in the comments section. So go download that if you need that. Other than that, I hope you found value, and I hope this video was in the least bit transformative for you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if it was, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.